Step into any suburban traffic jam, high school parking lot, or crowded grocery store driveway, and you are looking at the heavyweights of the automotive world. For over 50 years, the Toyota Corolla and the Honda Civic have been locked in an absolute multi-billion-dollar war for the soul of the everyday driver. Most car reviewers will waste your time rambling on about lap times, track handling, and 0 to 60 sprints. But let's be honest, nobody buys a compact economy car to set land speed records at a racetrack. You buy these cars for the brutal reality of daily life. You buy them to survive an hour of bumper-to-bumper morning traffic, to dodge massive city potholes on your way to work, to fit 2 child safety seats in the back row, and to know that when you turn the key in 10 years, the engine will fire up without throwing a $3,000 repair bill in your face. On paper, the Civic and the Corolla look like identical compact appliances designed to get you from point A to point B. But when you look at how they actually function in daily usage, you realize they are built on 2 completely opposite engineering philosophies. Which one is actually worth your hard-earned money, and which one is secretly setting you up for daily frustration? Let's break down the real-world reality. Mechanical reality. Naturally aspirated, turbo, and hybrid. Under the hood, the mechanical differences highlight 2 completely different approaches to long-term reliability and fuel efficiency. Honda offers 2 primary powertrain choices depending on the trim level: a straightforward 2.0-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and an advanced dual-motor hybrid system that pairs a 2.0-liter engine with high-torque electric motors to push out a punchy 200 horsepower. In older generations, Honda also relied heavily on a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. If you choose a turbocharged or hybrid Civic, you get immediate fun acceleration. Passing a slow-moving semi-truck on a 2-lane highway is effortless because the electric motors or turbochargers supply instant low-end torque without forcing the transmission to frantically downshift. However, for drivers who plan to keep their car for 15 or 20 years, forced induction and complex dual-motor setups introduce extra mechanical variables. Turbocharged engines operate under intense internal heat and pressure, requiring strict oil change intervals, carbon cleaning routines on intake valves, and careful monitoring of high-pressure fuel lines as the miles stack up. Toyota takes a much more conservative, low-stress stance with the Corolla's powertrains. The standard gas-powered Corolla relies on a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder engine. It doesn't use a turbocharger. When you stomp on the gas pedal to merge onto a fast-moving highway, the engine revs loudly and takes its time building up speed compared to the punchy Civic. But that lack of a turbocharger is a massive win for long-term mechanical simplicity. Because internal operating pressures and thermal loads remain low, gaskets, vacuum hoses, and seals stay preserved for decades. If you step up to the Corolla Hybrid, Toyota equips the car with its legendary 5th-generation hybrid Synergy drive system. Instead of using traditional gear clutches or high-friction belts, Toyota's hybrid system routes power through a bulletproof planetary gear set. This design erases classic high-wear components like starter motors, traditional alternators, and mechanical launch clutches entirely. The electric motor handles the high-friction moments of pulling the car away from a complete stop, shielding the gas engine from low-speed wear cycles and delivering staggering real-world fuel economy that routinely tops 50 miles per gallon. Wear and tear, maintenance invoices, and resale realities. Let's start with physical wear items, starting with the braking system. If you own a standard gas-powered Honda Civic, your front brake pads and steel rotors will typically last anywhere from 30,000 to 50,000 miles, depending on how aggressively you stop in city traffic. However, if you move into the hybrid versions of either the Civic or the Corolla, the maintenance math changes drastically. Both cars use regenerative braking. When you step on the brake pedal in a Corolla Hybrid or Civic Hybrid, the physical brake pads don't immediately clamp down on the steel rotors. Instead, the electric motor runs in reverse, creating magnetic resistance to slow the vehicle down while sending kinetic energy back into the high-voltage battery. Because the electric motor does almost all the heavy lifting during everyday stop-and-go driving, the physical brake pads sit virtually untouched until you come to a complete panic stop. It is completely common for Toyota Corolla Hybrid owners to reach 100,000 miles on their original factory-installed brake pads. That erases hundreds of dollars in routine brake service invoices over a decade of ownership. Where the Honda Civic can cost slightly more over time is in tire replacement cycles and engine maintenance. The Civic's aggressive suspension tuning and sharp steering alignment give it incredible cornering performance. But if you forget to rotate your tires religiously every 5,000 miles, the inner shoulders of the front tires will wear down prematurely. Additionally, if you own a turbocharged Civic, you must adhere strictly to synthetic oil change schedules. Skipping oil changes in a turbo engine bakes oil inside the turbocharger's hot bearing housing, leading to premature turbo failure down the road. The Corolla is far more forgiving of human error. Its simple, naturally aspirated 2.0-liter engine and planetary gear hybrid setup don't run ultra-high boost pressures or extreme under-hood temperatures. There are no turbo wastegates to seize, no high-pressure intercooler hoses to crack, and no drive belts on the hybrid model to snap. It is a car engineered to survive owner neglect, making it one of the cheapest vehicles on Earth to maintain past 6 figures on the odometer. When it comes time to sell, both the Civic and the Corolla act like financial body armor. While luxury European sedans and domestic crossovers lose 50% of their value within the first 3 years, the Civic and Corolla maintain an unshakable asset floor in the used car market. A 10-year-old Corolla or Civic with over 100,000 miles will still command a massive cash premium on the used market because second- and third-hand buyers know these platforms are practically immortal. Real-life usage, seating height, sightlines, and cabin stress. The moment you open the driver's door and get inside, the real-world differences between these two icons hit you immediately. The Honda Civic is designed with a low-slung, sporty posture. It sits noticeably closer to the asphalt. If you are a younger driver or an automotive enthusiast who loves the feeling of sitting low in a cockpit, the Civic feels engaging and premium. But in real-world daily usage, that low seating position comes with a physical tax. Every single morning, you aren't just sitting down, you are dropping down into the cabin. If you suffer from lower back tightness, knee soreness, or if you are constantly loading toddlers into the backseat, that low hip point becomes a daily physical annoyance. Furthermore, sitting low to the ground means that when you are driving at night, the blinding LED headlights of modern full-size pickup trucks and oversized 3-row SUVs hit your side mirrors and rear window straight at eye level. The Toyota Corolla takes a completely different approach. It rejects sportiness in favor of pure, effortless utility. The Corolla features a higher, natural hip point. You don't drop down into it, nor do you have to climb up. You simply walk up, open the door, turn your hips, and slide straight onto the seat cushion without straining your joints. The driver sits in an upright posture surrounded by an open glass canopy with thin roof pillars. While the Civic feels like a snug cockpit, the Corolla feels like a functional glass booth. When you are parallel parking in a tight downtown space or backing out of a crowded parking spot at night, the physical outward visibility in the Corolla makes maneuvering completely stress-free, allowing you to clearly see objects around you without relying entirely on electronic backup cameras. Physical buttons versus touchscreen intrusiveness. Inside the cabin, the daily usability debate shifts directly to how you interact with the dashboard controls while keeping your eyes on the road. Honda has outfitted the modern Civic with an exceptionally stylish, upscale interior. It features an attractive honeycomb mesh pattern stretching across the dashboard, hidden air vents, and high-contrast digital displays. It looks and feels expensive, easily punching above its price class. However, Honda's drive towards sleek interior design means that several secondary climate and vehicle management settings are integrated into digital screen menus. While the digital graphics look sharp when the car is parked in a showroom, trying to swipe through software submenus to adjust cabin airflow while navigating a chaotic 6-lane highway rainstorm can be frustrating and distracting. The Toyota Corolla's interior looks much more conservative, bordering on plain. Toyota deliberately avoids flashy interior styling trends, opting instead for heavy physical ergonomics. Underneath the central display screen sit 3 massive rubberized climate control dials and large tactile switches for media and window defrosters. You don't have to look down at a screen or navigate software updates to clear a foggy windshield. You simply reach out, grab the large physical dial by muscle memory, and twist it. Whether you are wearing thick winter gloves or driving in pitch-black darkness, the Corolla's interior layout prioritizes simple physical operation over high-tech showmanship. When you take these 2 compact giants out of the parking lot and merge onto the open road, the engineering divide between Honda and Toyota becomes even sharper. How a car accelerates, takes corners, and handles broken pavement dictates how relaxed or exhausted you feel at the end of a long workday. City traffic versus open highway comfort. The Honda Civic is built for the driver who actually enjoys the physical act of driving. Honda engineers equipped the Civic with a sharp, responsive steering rack and a sophisticated multi-link rear suspension setup. When you turn the steering wheel, the Civic responds instantly with crisp, athletic precision. On a winding back road or an highway entrance ramp, the car stays planted and flat through corners, giving you the confidence of a sports sedan. However, that sport-tuned suspension comes with a real-world trade-off when you get onto bad road surfaces. The Civic's firm dampers translate road imperfections directly into the cabin. When you hit a sharp sewer lid, a sunken bridge expansion joint, or a deep city pothole, the shock travels straight up through the chassis and into your seat. It is a firm, European-style ride that keeps you connected to the road, whether you want to feel it or not. The Toyota Corolla, on the other hand, approaches the road with a philosophy of complete isolation. Its electric power steering is heavily boosted and light, requiring almost zero wrist effort to spin the wheel during low-speed parking lot maneuvers or tight U-turns. It doesn't offer the razor-sharp handling feedback of the Civic, but it completely excels at soaking up road abuse. Toyota tuned the Corolla's coil springs and dampers to be soft and forgiving. When you hit a patch of broken pavement or a nasty pothole that would jar your teeth in a sports car, the Corolla's suspension absorbs the impact and dampens the movement before it reaches the steering wheel. On long, boring highway commutes, the Corolla floats over highway dips and road cracks without drama. It trades cornering precision for pure physical comfort, making it an ideal stress relief capsule for rough urban streets. At the end of the day, this rivalry didn't survive for over 50 years because one car is bad and the other is good. It survived because Honda and Toyota build these cars for two completely different types of drivers. Choose the Honda Civic if you genuinely care about the driving experience and want sharp, responsive steering. You prefer a sleek, modern, low-slung cockpit that feels like a premium sports sedan. You don't mind a slightly firmer ride over city potholes or paying a little extra attention to routine maintenance to enjoy a fun, high-performance daily commuter. Choose the Toyota Corolla if you view a car strictly as a reliable appliance designed to protect your wallet. You want effortless entry and exit with a higher seating position and simple physical dashboard controls. You want absolute long-term peace of mind, ultra-low maintenance invoices, and a stress-free vehicle that will start every single morning for the next 20 years without drama. Which side of the 30-year war are you standing on? Are you taking the sharp, fun-to-drive Honda Civic? Or are you anchoring your savings to the UN-killable Toyota Corolla? Drop your thoughts down in the comments section below. Let's fight it out and see where the real battle lines are drawn. Smash that subscribe button to keep your bank account safe from bad car purchases, stay savvy, and I'll see you in the next one.